I'm not happy. Sup y'all, I'm Intricately Random Asian, or Ira for short. Thank you very much for clicking on this random video that you happen to stumble upon on YouTube. If you've been here for a while, welcome to another load of randomness, but with a purpose. Buckle up your seatbelts and enjoy the ride. I'm very excited for this video because this is going to be my first ever movie review on my channel. If there's one movie in 2020 that I've been really excited for and really looking forward to, it's none other than the live-action Mulan remake from the 1998 animated version. If y'all are not familiar with the story of Mulan, you can go ahead and check out other videos that explain what it is, because I'm sure they're going to be doing a much better job than I can. And I have a lot to say about this, and I don't want to ramble on and on for hours, so that's why I've prepared like one page of notes right here. I'll be trying to follow it as best as I can. For this movie review, I just really want to focus on everything that stuck out to me as I was watching. I'm not gonna get too much into like the politics behind the movie and all that. I don't know anything. I just watched this movie expecting to be like entertained and super impressed and get nostalgic and all that. I didn't really dive into like the history of the filmmaking and the director's thoughts and all that. I just watched this as a third-party person, as a consumer. So yeah, this is going to be my honest review and also going to be filled with spoilers. Alert, spoilers are going to be in this video, so if that's not your style, if you're not up to that, if you're really looking to waste 30 hard-earned dollars from your bank account and waste 2 hours of your precious time watching a movie from home that is not even half as good as what you expected, then please click away right now. Okay, you're gone. Good. Let's move on to this review. Oh, and by the way, please stick till the end of this video because that's where we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff, okay? Because Disney ultimately killed our nostalgia, so we're going to be creating our own nostalgia at the end of the review. Alright, so during the past years, it's no secret to us all that Disney has been trying to recreate all its classic animated movies. The only ones that I really enjoyed and kind of respect are The Jungle Book from 2016 and The Two Maleficents. The other ones in between stunk so bad. It made my socks smell good. And that's a problem. Gross. Lion King, let's be honest, really sucked. Beauty and the Beast was eh. Aladdin was like not even worth it. And now Mulan, I don't even know where to begin, but I'ma just start by saying that it was not the best. It was really not what I expected. It didn't have the effect that Disney wanted it to have on its viewers. I mean, like, I came out of that movie more disappointed than happy to having watched it, you know? I was like, well, I just wasted 2 hours of my life. And I don't really care about the $30 because my stepdad paid for the whole family, so whatever. But I was like, I could have just totally rewatched the animated version for a much better experience, and that's ultimately what I did after the live action movie anyway. So yeah. Okay, so one of the biggest things, and I'm gonna start off with this because this is really what bothered me the most about this movie, is, no offense, but the acting of the actress that they cast as Mulan. It bothered me so much to my core that because of this, I had a hard time enjoying the movie. You know, Disney has the budget and the power to cast really good actors with some skills and some talent. But this actress, her performance was so dry. Drier than the Sahara Desert. So bland. Really blunt. Static. Emotionless. Poker face was written all over her face that Lady Gaga's Poker Face could have ultimately been her theme song instead. You know, that's how bad it was. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna lay it out there. She had no reaction whatsoever to anything in the movie. At all. I'm not even exaggerating because I'm gonna show you proof. One of the scenes in the live action that got so ruined, not just because they completely switched it from the original, was, you know, the pole scene. Now it became like a bucket holding challenge, going upstairs stuff. Oh my god. This scene was so memorable in the worst way possible because the acting of Mulan was so... It's not even terrible. It was below horrible. It was not good, okay? She was performing what seemed to be one of the hardest challenges, even for a man to do. And she just like cruised along, you know, like, okay, I'm lifting 2 buckets and it's not affecting me because I'm super powerful and like I'm perfect, so screw you all. Oh, what the fuck? I literally was like, what the hell am I even watching? Because literally though, zoom into her face. Okay, fine, she's all dirty and smelly and all, but like you will not see a drop of sweat or her eyebrows like, you know, doing this, or her scrunching up her nose because of how tired she is or anything. You will not even see her breathe. Okay? A good actor, if that were me, I'd be like doing this, I'd start crying, I'd be panting, I'd be like you know? And if I were the director, I would have totally slowed that moment down to highlight the grunts, the groans, the moans, the heavy breathing, and zoomed on the actor's face to see how hard this task is and how, you know, bone breaking it is and all. But her, no, she was just like, yeah, it's... And what's even worse is when she gets on top of the mountain though. Once again, she does not give any reaction whatsoever. She's just like, bruh. You know, there's really a big problem when an animated cartoon character has more expression and life and personality than a live person on screen. There's a huge mismatch. Like, it's not working. Mulan's cartoon character was so much more memorable because I remember exactly her facial expressions. I remember how she felt during certain events in the movie. But this actress, which I don't even remember the name because her performance was so forgettable to that point. Okay, let me just show you. Like, it's not to be mean, but as a paying consumer of a movie, I expect to connect with the character and I expect to feel everything they're feeling at the same time, you know? That's just one of the crucial ingredients that makes a good movie. But this, it just hit the mark so bad. I hated it. Okay, I didn't hate it, but I was like so let down. I felt no connection to the character whatsoever. And it's also probably due to the fact that she's perfect for some reason. Everything is handed down to her already. She's like born a warrior. She's born perfect. She has no flaws whatsoever. And I guess with the directing and the screenwriting, the fact that she was already perfect translated probably to the fact that she couldn't show any emotion or something. I don't know how that worked, but the director also kind of failed in directing the actress. I mean, it's probably not her fault that her acting was so dry and bland, but it just really did not work out for this movie. Yeah, so I was gonna show you comparisons. Here they are. So let's start with the real deal, shall we? Mulan, the real Mulan. The original Mulan, you get it? So here's Mulan's I don't really want to get married face. Here's her, oh gosh, what's gonna happen with my life now face. Here's her, I just totally brought dishonor to my family face. Here's her, oh, I'm so screwed, my cover probably just got blown face. Here's her struggle face. You see, we see a lot of emotion in this. Here's her face of victory. Here's her, here's the enemy charging at me face. Here's her, I just kicked your ass face. Here's her sad and devastated face. Here's her terrified and scared face. And here's her ready to take down a bad guy face. You see what I mean? Her face shows emotion, her face shows character, her face shows life, her face shows feelings, and all of that. But when compared to her live action counterpart, here's her, I don't really want to get married face. Here's her, oh gosh, what's gonna happen with my life now face. Here's her, I just brought dishonor to my family face. Here's her, oh, I'm so screwed, my cover probably just got blown face. Here's her struggle face. Here's her face of victory. Here's her, here's the enemy charging right at me face. Here's her, I just kicked your ass face. Here's her sad and devastated face. Oh, sorry, this is still going on? Oh, okay, my bad, okay. Here's her sad and devastated face. Here's her terrified and scared face. And finally, the cream of the crop. Here's her ready to take down a bad guy face. Legit though, her face did not change at all during the entirety of this whole damn movie. Her facial expressions are blanker than a blank slate. Okay, you get the point. Her acting was pretty bad in this movie. I'm sure anyone else could have done a better job. But then again, it's probably the director's fault, right? So yeah, enough of her. Also, the other characters, they were okay, but they were not the most memorable either. Especially what they've done to like Chenpo, Ling, and Yao. who the hell were the guys that they chose to play them in the live action? Like, their personalities were so not well established. I didn't even know who was who. It was not clear. Okay, like, I'm so unhappy with what they did with the characters. They added a sister figure now who was totally useless. She had like 3 lines in the entire movie and she had no development whatsoever with Mulan. Okay, she was just there to be there for the spider scene and that was it. Shang obviously is not there anymore. He was kind of like replaced by 2 more inferior characters, I guess. The Emperor's acting too was like, his voice did not sound natural at all. Also, his facial expressions were pretty bland and dry, pretty static as well. Oh my god, what did they do with Shan Yu? Why? No offense, Disney, but your animated character was so much more intimidating and scary than this pathetic imitation. Like, this guy does not look scary or intimidating at all. He just looks like a freak. No. I don't know, man, but y'all totally butchered the cast of this. Okay. Oh, and not to mention the witch character. Her character didn't really bother me that much. I was just like trying to ignore it because she was confusing. I was like, are you a villain? Are you a good guy? Are you a villain? Are you a good guy? You like Mulan now? Okay, why? So what's your motive? Why are you doing this? You know, stuff like that. So she got me all up there. But the only thing that I could really think of when I was watching this character was like the actress who was playing her. Last time I saw her was Memoirs of a Geisha. That was like 15 or 16 years ago or something. I don't know. I was really young, but I remember her because she was such a great villain. And I was like, yo, you're playing a villain in this again? Cool. And by the way, you did not age at all. She has that Asian glow beauty thing, you know? But yeah, that's the only thing I took from her character, honestly. Gong Li, you're awesome. I just hope you didn't play this character because they did not develop her for you at all. She was just there to be there, I guess. I don't know. But moving on from how terrible the characters were written and acted, at least the costumes were nice. Y'all were showing the budget that you had to make them, so that's good. But tying it back to Mulan though, the concept of chi, the first time I've heard of that was in Karate Kid when Jackie Chan was like, chi, it's the essence of the universe, and stuff like that to Jaden Smith. And the second time I've heard of it was in Kung Fu Panda, and I was like, chi is not in the original Mulan. And honestly though, I think she had a better place in Kung Fu Panda and Karate Kid because, I don't know, it just felt so out of place in Mulan. I can't put my finger on it, but I just feel like it had no business being there. And I also know that the phoenix and the dragon are super symbolic and important in, you know, Chinese mythology and divinity and all that. But when I first heard about the phoenix, I was like, yo, Maleficent, shout out. I mean, because she literally turns into one. So anyway, I just thought of that while I was watching the movie. Speaking of the phoenix though, like, what the fuck, Disney? You're a multi-billion company and you totally butchered the CGI of the phoenix. When I first saw it, the first thought that popped up in my head was like, yo, this looked like one of those kite things, you know? It looks cheap. I don't know, it didn't look good or real or anything. It didn't look powerful or compelling at all. It just looked like a cheap budget imitation of, what's that Pokemon? Moltres? Yeah, they might as well just have included Moltres in this movie. It would have looked better. It would have been more convincing to the audience, you know? And I guess obviously because they decided to kick out Mushu completely from this movie, I think the Phoenix's role was essentially to act as a replacement for Mushu, but it really did not work out either because the Phoenix literally did not do anything in this movie apart from show up from time to time whenever it wanted to, I guess, or whenever Mulan had to get places and she didn't know how. Like, Disney, if you're not going to put Mushu in there, just don't put him in at all. Don't take some replacement for him to fill in the gaps of his absence. Like, just don't. I'm telling ya, the Phoenix could have been just written out and the movie would have stayed the same. Sorry, Disney. Speaking of bad CGI, the battle scenes though, oh my goodness. The last time I ever complained about too much CGI in a battle scene was in the Hobbit movies, and honestly though, the CGI in the live-action Mulan during the battle sequences was way too much. It was dizzying and kind of terrible looking at times. No, many times. That it made the CGI in the Hobbit trilogy look so good. I'm not even gonna complain anymore. No. I mean, why do the characters need to do like wall walking and wall jumping and like 30 million flips in the air and these crazy acrobatics and stuff? It was like not real at all. It was sickening. You know, it was really hard to watch. I'm so sorry, Disney, but that was not enjoyable. I was like, okay, come on. Like from the first scene when the Huns were when the Rorons were invading, I was like, are you serious though? They're gonna do this? And then I thought to myself, I just really hope they're not gonna put so much slow motions in the fighting actions. And what did we get? A lot of slow motion in the fighting sequences. And let's not talk about the soundtrack though. Oh, and I'm gonna go back to this point after again when I talk about another point, is when the first time that the Imperial Palace was introduced in the beginning of the movie, there was a part of the soundtrack that sounded exactly like Lord of the Rings. You know, that scene when Gandalf is riding out to Isengard and there's like the plane shot, you know, and then Saruman's just coming down on the stairs. Listen to it again, it sounds exactly the same, carbon copies. I was like, what? I mean, I know for sure that Howard Shore did not compose Mulan soundtrack. Oh, heck no. And again, going deeper into the soundtrack, this soundtrack was so forgettable. Obviously, Disney ripped out all the songs from the original, which killed the vibe of the whole movie, honestly. Okay, maybe they made a shout-out reference during the training scenes where the captain or the general was like, I'll make a man out of each and every one of you. And then he says a line from the song. It was like when he said, tranquil as the forest, but on fire within. In my head though, I was bursting into song. I was like, tranquil as the forest, but on fire within. Ba-da-dum. Once you find your center, you are sure to win. And then Shang's voice like ringing, you know? Oh my goodness. I was like, if y'all are gonna reference that teeny line from the movie, why don't you just reference the whole song during this training thing? You know, at least to make it more enjoyable and more memorable. But no, they didn't. Thanks, Disney. Okay, I feel like during this whole review, all I've done was like bash the live action Mulan, which I'm not done doing, by the way. But if there's a positive that I can take away from this movie, is that a lot of the scenery and the setting looked really, really good. I think they filmed on location, but in some scenes though, again tied to Lord of the Rings, some scenes like in the training camp and during the final battle scene, I was like, yo, this place looks strangely familiar. I was like, this looks a lot like Lord of the Rings setting. Like, it looks a lot like New Zealand, you know, with the plains and how the hills are with like the bushings and the snowy mountains in the back. I was like, wait a minute. But then I learned that it was actually filmed in New Zealand. So I was like, oh, well, that explains it. And speaking about the battle scene, okay, the last one in the live action remake, as I was watching, I was like, wait, is it me or this looks a lot like the Battle of Pelennor Fields in Lord of the Rings, Return of the King? You know, everything looked so similar from how the two armies were placed, from how the Hun army, the Roran army was charging down the hill thing, and how like Mulan's army was placed in the other side of the battlefield, from how the archers stood. Okay, like in the Lord of the Rings, it's flipped. Like the ones charging are the good guys and the ones here are the orcs. You know, everything was like placed and sequenced exactly the same way. I felt like Mulan was trying to mimic that awesome and epic and great battle scene, one of the greatest battle scenes in all of cinematic history, and I was like, yo, don't do that, man. It's like you're disgracing and dishonoring Lord of the Rings, so please stop. You know? Don't believe me? Here's a clip. I was like, stop. Just don't. You can't recreate a masterpiece, which Disney shouldn't have done anyway, because they're trying to recreate Mulan's animated version masterpiece into this thing that ultimately did not work at all in any possible way. You see what I mean now? And in the Battle of Pelennor Fields, that moment was so bone-chillingly memorable because also the soundtrack had a lot to do with it. But like I said in the past with Mulan, the soundtrack was so not inspiring at all. I don't even remember what song was playing in their battle, but the only song that I remember was when Mulan was like, oh, I'm stripping out my disguise now and I'm going to cherish who I am and I'm going to show them who's boss and all that. It was Reflection playing during that time, and it was such a dishonor to that really great song because they only played maybe, what, 15 seconds of it? Not even? And it was not even that impactful. I was just like, what a total letdown from the soundtrack. Like, I mean, Disney, if you can't succeed in any other area in a movie, at least make the soundtrack good. But no, Disney even failed at that. So that's pretty bad. Really bad, actually. Man, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Yep, I did. As you can take away from my review, I wasn't really happy with the result of the live-action remake of Mulan. The original was so much better and so much more superior in every possible way you can imagine. Okay, maybe it had a little bit of its flaws, but still, I'd rather you watch that for free than spend 30 bucks on the new live-action remake. Really though, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Okay, I'm just stop there because I've had enough of this movie. I'm not gonna rewatch it even if I was forced to. I'm not gonna rewatch it anytime soon. I'm not gonna rewatch it if I had nothing else to watch. I mean, you can always see it for yourself, but like I'm telling you, if you value your time, don't watch it. Hey, so if you're still here, I just want to thank you for having made it this far, first of all. And like I said in the beginning of the video, we are going to make our own nostalgia and fun to make up for the live-action Mulan's shittiness and lack of greatness by watching two of the most epic scenes in the original movie that they completely stripped out. The first scene is Mulan's decision when she cuts her hair, takes her father's armor, and leaves the house. Disney, how could you not include the scene in there? You just made it into a pathetic scene that had no impact whatsoever. So if you don't mind, me and a lot of viewers are gonna watch how it was supposed to be done, okay? Here it goes. Get ready for the goosebumps. So much better acting. I just realized how much the dragon is so present in this scene, you know? It's there. And you see the music speaks to you. Gosh, Disney, what the heck? Oh, it's coming. Ooh, I already feel the goosebumps. There we go. Oh my god, this song is so epic, man. This just gives me energy, you know? There you go, dragon again. This sounds so 80s though, but I love it. Oh my god. There, Reflection, baby. Oh my god. Ah, the goosebumps. Wow, this is such a great montage too. Yeah. You see, even the horse has so much more personality than all the characters in the live action combined. Yeah. Woo. You see, Disney, that is called being awesome. Yeah. What you did in your live action, Far from it. Not even close. Okay? You see how we felt every emotion? You see how we felt connected to the character and her decisions? And ultimately, simultaneously, we were feeling the music as well, and we were having goosebumps, okay? That's how you make a great montage. You did not succeed at that in your live action. No offense. The second scene, no surprise, y'all know it, is I'll make a man out of you. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. Oh man, this is one of the best scenes in the whole entire movie, probably in all of Disney. Let's get down. Oh yes, there's lyrics. To defeat the Huns. Come on, sing along. Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons? This bunch I've ever met, but you can bet before we're through, Mr. I'll make a man out of you. Oh my god, my voice. Tranquil as the forest, but on fire within. Once you find your center, you are sure to win. Less pale, pathetic lot, and you haven't got a clue. I'll make a man. You see, Disney comedy. Boom. I'm never gonna catch my breath. Say goodbye to those who knew me. Freaking love Yall and Ling. Hope he doesn't see right through me. I knew how to swim, be a man, swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon, and all the strength of a raging fire. that scene, okay. Physically speaking, isn't the guy supposed to be like blown away with that explosion, literally like a few feet away from him? But he stayed there. I don't know, that's just something that I was like, yo, this makes no sense. Because, you know, when something explodes, everyone just goes like, Pwah! Also. But anyway, it doesn't change the fact that this is one of the greatest scenes ever made in a Disney animated movie ever. And one of the greatest Disney songs, too, to be out there, honestly. The dark side of the moon. Hey. And toward us. Oh, I love this voice there. See, you feel her pain and all that. And everything too was on cue with the music. Everything that was happening on screen. You're suited for the rage of war. So pack up, go home, you're through. How could I make a man? Yes, you. Oh man, so freaking epic, oh my god! River, with all the force of great typhoon. Yeah! You see, struggle, real struggle, right there. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Yeah. As a coursing river. You see, Disney planned payoff for each character. Planned payoff. Side of the moon. Wow. Yeah. Freaking lit. And Disney, you just killed it. You ripped the soul out of the whole thing.
Ooh, you suck.
I'm not happy. Oh my goodness. It just seems like Disney took out everything that's fun in a movie. They took out everything they know about filmmaking, about screenwriting, about dialogue and all that, and they just ripped it and, you know, crumpled it, probably spat on it and threw it out. That's what happened with the live action Mulan, honestly. Man, what a waste. But hey, if you want to feel alive again, I'm telling you, just watch the original movie. Yeah! Easy. Alright, I'm really sorry for my failed promise to make this a short video, but I just really had a lot of stuff to say about this movie, and hopefully if you do watch it, that you have a better opinion on it than I did, because honestly though, this movie sucked. Hopefully I'll be making more movie reviews, so if you have a movie you want me to watch and review, please let me know down below. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching, I hope you liked it. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe if you want to, and as usual, get out there and be random, because randomness is a lifestyle, so get on board with me and let's embrace it. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye!